All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to, I call it the MrKnew Show, but we got Gage on here, so I'm going to call it the Gage Show. More than happy to have you here, and would love you to introduce yourself to everybody.
Hi, everyone. It's Gage, and you might know me as autism leader on Twitter. And I'm just grateful to be here. I was born a Vikings fan and spent a lot of time watching the Vikings. And as you've seen, put on an old jersey, so we might recognize it. Teddy Bridgewater, the last quarterback we were very had high hopes for. Hopefully, it has a little bit different result this time around, but with JJ. But really
Get the injury
grateful
out
to
of the
be
way
here.
early this time.
Wait, what's that?
Get the injury out of the way early this time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. We're like, okay, we're not gonna make it too serious. The Vikings guys like, okay, we're not gonna make it too serious, at least for one season. But you guys will have at least 20 years, so one season's not bad.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And thank you for joining. And I noticed that you have your own show. I think it was called Hope Talk, or
Oh,
is it
autism talk.
the Autism Talk channel? And I was checking it out earlier. It's really really cool. I don't know if I'm able to put a link or anything. But if you want to let anybody know, to jump on over and what it is, that'd be cool.
So basically, autism talk. I talk about my journey being autistic. I was diagnosed at 5, and growing up was very difficult. There was a lot of people that had a lot of judgment, or they act like they were compassionate but really weren't. They're still judging. And growing up, there's a lot of difficulties, yeah, we have our own struggles being autistic. We have a hard time hugging people, or a lot, or get overstimulated by going in public, and things like that, and have a hard time talking to people, making eye contact. And on
100%.
top of that, there's people like in my school, I was in special ed, and they would have us do like job sites 2 days a week. And sometimes they have us like dust lockers in the hallways. Like they had our expectations vastly low, and that affects you mentally because you're like, oh, my teachers don't even believe in me. So it was
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
there's mixed in bullying, and it was like not a very, very difficult time growing up. And I went through a lot of pain, went through a spell of depression when I got in my 20s, and lost someone very close to me a couple years back, 5 years ago, and I'm grateful to be here. And in these past 4 years, since that my it was my brother that passed away, my second older brother, and since then that really brought me to reality on certain things, and it got me to where I needed to go, through meditation and working on myself and self development. Actually learned from Terry Robbins. He was one of my teachers that I looked up on YouTube, watched his videos, and then it led to many other people that I have gained respect for and learned greatly from, and brought me here. A lot of self development, and I have another older brother that really helped me get to where I am today. And now I even have opportunity to speak in April. So that's blowing my mind, and it's really helping push me to go further.
I'm just doing the silent clap, not to interrupt you. So I'm just doing the silent clap. No, that is to be able to do that, to be able to overcome all of that, to be able to not see the darkness and just dive into the darkness, to be able to see the to be able to be aware of what was going on and the low expectations, and to drive yourself further isn't a testament to itself. Like, dude, that is amazing, amazing. I am so
Really appreciate
lucky to
that.
know you, to be able to talk to you, and to be able to, all of it. It's a privilege and an honor, my friend. And everything that you go through, I just want you to know that I understand completely how hard it is in this world, especially to express your feelings. um we live in a world where kind of everyone's online, and so there's a lot of minds that maybe aren't as sensitive, or things
Mm.
like that. And so sometimes people may not know how much you affect somebody when you say something or when you dismiss something. And I had a little piece a minute ago that I did on my Twitter. You've probably seen it, and it was just me talking about not to be so hard on everybody. And a lot of people took that as me just saying like to let people have a pass and to just be negative fans. And it was like, no, I want you to always be positive. But I'm just saying, if someone gets a little down, if they, you know what I mean? You know, sometimes some of these people, you know, who knows, have a lot of struggles going on. And I think as being a family, we should cut the break, you know, especially co-fans, you know, like why war against that? Why argue with that? You know, let's bring each other up. And the same thing with like the energy level with the team. You could feel it, you know, through those first games. You could feel the energy level building, and then you could almost with these last couple of weeks. I don't know if you could feel it, but I felt like I could. I felt like I could feel it in the beginning when because I was there at that Lions game. The energy out of the roof. I couldn't even see a Lions fan. It was like a couple specks, and then all of a sudden, as the quarters kept going, more blue. You're like, what the heck? What's going on here?
That's pretty
What's going
wild.
on? And the vibe just kept changing and changing and just like that's why I want to bring it up to this week. I want us to be able to listen to that dang video or whatever they pumped out there and just get ready, man, because I feel like the vibes start with the fans. I really do.
That's all where it starts with. Like, you know, like with the Seattle Seahawks, for example, the 12th man is the fans. That's why they named it, because there's a big difference. Like, the fans are a big part of the football team.
Dude,
And the fan, like, and we kind of like I get it that we lost 2 games in 5 days. Doesn't look great. But look, guys, we started the season thinking like, okay, we're gonna win 6 or 7 games. We're 5-2. We're fucking
see,
5-2. Like,
cook,
why are we
Gage,
so
cook,
upset?
Gage, cook, my friend, you
Exactly.
cooking.
It's Sam Darnold. Like, we didn't think this guy was gonna be very good. Let's be honest. Like, I had high hopes. People said I was going a little too high. I thought we'd be 9-7 heading to a wild card. You know, 9-8, whatever it is nowadays.
That's about
But
what I had. That's what I had. To be honest, just being honest, that's what I had.
well, yeah, everyone thought, like most people thought, we're going to win 7, 8 games. Like, we're 5-2, guys. Why are we getting crazy? And now we know we got an upcoming team. We got a lot of young players on defense and offense. And we have a young franchise quarterback. I have no doubt in my mind JJ is going to be the franchise quarterback. Like, this dude has not lost too many games, and he's proven to be a winner. You know, and he's going to have the greatest receiver of all time in Justin Jefferson. So, to me, like, I'm enjoying the ride. You know, 5-2, it's rough, but I trust in Kevin O'Connell, Brian Flores. We got a great coaching staff and GM. So I have no doubt we're going to come back. And you look at our free schedules, like the next 3 games, I think are easily winnable games.
I think Flacco's been playing a little better. You know what I mean? Looks like they're going to bench Richardson, sounds like. And this is why it's a little controversy take for you. And just let me know what you think, because like this is the thing. Before the year started, I was really high on JJ McCarthy. As far as like saying he can spin the ball. Like I was one of the only people saying this dude can throw. He's not just a run, vroom, vroom. Everyone seems to have short-term memory. But I remember Thor Nystrom, shout out him too. He was way big on it too, you know. And I stated it with Baker on his show, you know, how much his ball, like once you see this dude's ball, y'all are gonna realize. And I love that from me, and I love that from everybody. I love that everybody got to see that in the preseason. But I mean, like, do you think like we should maybe should we throw him in right away 2025 and just build everything around him? Or do you think we should follow that Green Bay 2-3 year sit and then get him out there the later year with him?
I think he's a guy that can play right away.
I think he's good.
And he's got a year. You know, he might not be playing, but he's going to have just like a redshirt year for him. You know, he's going to sit behind Sam Darnold, learn from him, learn from Kevin O'Connell. Let's not forget, we had Nick Mullins last year, and he's thrown 400 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yes. Multiple games over 300.
It's crazy. You know, it's crazy. And JJ is going to excel in this offense next year. I have no doubt in my mind.
Okay, I was thinking so too. I just need a little alleviation, because you know you look around the league right now and you see so many young QBs struggling and getting benched. I mean, I'm serious. I seen a list the other day. It was wild. Bryce Young, you know, Anthony Richardson, of course. Gosh, there was a handful, and they just went through a bunch of them, and it was just like, wow. Wow. And I remember, I don't know if you remember watching Jordan Love in his beginning years. He really seemed to struggle when he would sub in for Rodgers. And now it's like when you watch him, it's like the complete opposite. And he almost has become that, as much as I don't like to admit it. He's really good. Jordan Love, that is. And it's like, gosh, have they cooked up a
I didn't
recipe
think he was
there?
going to be.
What?
I didn't think he was going to be that good. He didn't look that good, and when he started playing.
Dude, that's what, is there something to this system? Like, what are we missing here? Like, how is
We
this
need to
dude
steal one of
coming
their scouts. We need to take one of their scouts. Like, bro, how you doing this? How you get these quarterbacks?
3 generations? Oh, and I've been around for all of them too. I don't know, how long you've been a fan. None of that, man. I know some people are like, oh, this one matters, this one not. It's, I think anytime anyone joins is a good
Definitely
time.
over the 20 years. I
20
started
years,
really
okay.
watching. I don't remember a lot of it because I really got into probably right around 2013, 2014 because I was like a teenager back then. But 2009 is the year I really got into the Vikings because it was that championship year, and that's when I really got into it.
And
Remember
that's why
going
you
down the
got into it.
basement, watching with my family. Like it really, my uncle was a longtime Vikings fan. He got my dad into it, and then the Vikings blood got everywhere.
Right. That's why I mean, I shared a picture of my dad the other day because flipping quarterback number 9 Tommy Kramer commented on something. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to tell my dad that was his favorite. He always used to scream at the TV. That's where I got my passion. Like, I've been 20-year type deal, and I missed some of the years or whatever, but I was there for the 99, 98, there for the 04, 05, signing stuff, Adrian Peterson years, and then kind of missed a little going to college, then came back, like you said, again during the Teddy years, and then kind of after that I started a fantasy football league and just been a nut since. But it's so awesome to be a fan that long. And even though we don't have that Lombardi, it is going to be so sweet when JJ McCarthy brings it, because that dude is nothing but a winner. And I agree, man. I think he is going to hoist it for us. I really do. And I agree, we could maybe even get it this year. Like, are you looking around the league and seeing what I'm seeing? Like, there's a lot of teams
Yeah,
with bad records.
and I would love if this happened. I'm really hoping the 49ers get knocked out because they're real. Because when they get their
Yeah,
players healthy, especially Christian McCaffrey, I want those guys knocked out. I don't even want to face them
right.
because
They do
I
get
think we could
talents.
possibly beat them, but like they are going to be a tough team. They've been to the big game twice in the past, like 5. I think it's like 5 to 6 years. So get those guys knocked out, and I think Sam Darnold, and we kind of got to see. And it's not to be fully down on Sam Darnold, but we know we can't rely on him on the like Hail Marys in the last second type of games. We got to rely on our defense, and we got to rely on our offensive players. No, it
What do you
shouldn't
think
all be
about
on Sam Darnold. It should be on
What do
the
you
whole
think
team.
about Dexter Lawrence then? If you're thinking about the defense, do you think that would be worth it? Because I mean, that seems to be the biggest, topic amongst fans. Do you think? 'Cause some people are talking, two first round picks. Some people are talking one and then a second or something, whatever. But let's say it was pretty high costing. Do you think that would help them maybe possibly do it this year?
It would bolster defense for sure. I think if we really wanted to make a big push, it would have to be at cornerback because
Cornerback.
we got a great front line and linebackers, but really it's the D backs. So you see, we're giving up a lot of yardage. Murphy's been giving up a lot of points. I think Gilmore's been solid, but Murphy's been kind of struggling a little bit. So if we really want to make a push, it's that front line. We got a great front line rush. It's really the secondary that needs help.
What I was
And
thinking was that the reason that the cornerbacks are not able to do it, and I called this before the game, especially before the Lions game going in, and then the next game as well, because they had strong run teams up the gut. Their ability to run up the center with their power line is very strong. And when you look at our line, there's a lot of linebacker splits in. There's a lot of tricks, safeties, people coming in from the nickel. There's people flying around, cornerbacks coming in, and then defensive ends and tackles, of course. But you know what I mean? With Harrison Phillips being 297, don't you think that if we got someone so big up there to just stuff that up to where they make them one-dimensional, it's like you can't even run, you got to pass. And so though then maybe those guys could, that was my theory on it, why I think maybe people were thinking it would be successful, is because then it would just help them out. Or you could even double up, and I was thinking adding someone like a JC Horn or something and grabbing both and addressing both, like you were saying.
Yeah, I think I can see where the fans are coming from, but you got to look at, like, because it's like look at trying to trade for Matthew Stafford. How much of a fantasy is it, and how realistic it could be? Because you can look at
Fantasy.
both, but like Dexter Lawrence would help, but you got to look at how much it would cost. And we're saying, oh yeah, it's just a couple first round picks, but that is a weapon JJ could have next year. That could be the next replacement for Aaron Jones when he gets older and he can't do what he does right now. Because Ty Chandler is good, but he's going to need a second running back for him.
Yeah.
And I kind of think of the future. We're going to win, guys. It's not like we don't have someone coming in next year. Now we can win a Super Bowl this year, but I'm not like stressing, because I know JJ. I know we got a future there. So I don't think we need to go all in, trade all the picks.
Okay.
Say we invest in next year. And I wouldn't mind trading like a third or fourth round pick for like a D-back or a defensive tackle that could help the defense, but I'm not trading 2 first round picks. Definitely wouldn't recommend that. I don't see Quincy doing that.
Okay, so you're saying kind of take the conservative route, invest in JJ McCarthy, go into next season with a boatload of money, you know what I mean? And just address everything and make that team sculpted around him, sort of like the Lions did with Jared Goff. You know what I mean? You knew he was a system QB coming from the Rams. You knew what the weaknesses were when they started losing Todd Gurley and some of that line, some of those things. And you were like, oh, he needs those things and stuff. So what did the Lions do? They grab Penei Sewell, to protect him and start beefing up that line. They grab a dual running back system. They grab, a tight end, beef everything up. And you see Sam Laporta over there more as instead of TJ Hawkinson, probably because maybe TJ wasn't willing to block as much or something. And how gritty Dan can get. And I think he was going for that team to just make it to protect Goff so he could focus and pass. And you could really be onto something there, where if the team invested and built it around him, knowing that this kid is the man, like along with JJ and everybody else that is the man too, but this kid will make everybody else, and he will bring us to not just maybe one, but multiple Super Bowl or championships or whatever.
Yeah, we're looking for a franchise. We're not looking at a one and done deal. Like, Rams are a good team, but look at them. They went all in, and we even know what happened to them. They haven't been very consistent, missed the playoffs a couple of times, and really haven't been the same Rams team. So, because when you get all in, you spend a lot, and
Right.
you're throwing away like a year's worth of draft picks that could turn into long-term players. So, and next year is going to be a big draft, I feel like, because there's a lot of great players coming out. So I think definitely invest in your future, because we got a franchise quarterback. We had someone like Matthew Stafford, Aaron Rodgers, etc. Then I would say go all in, trade all those picks. But we got a franchise quarterback. So I think invest in the future is probably the better scenario. We get everyone resigned, and we get to play. We fill in the holes that are lacking. So I would think like secondary is probably going to be, and front line would be the main targets for next year's free agency.
I agree. I think that's a good idea. I mean, I can see it going both ways, like I said. I mean, because like I said, it is kind of you look around the league, it is mid, does make it really tempting to be like, man, there ain't really anybody standing out. I mean, besides, of course, the Chiefs, they're undefeated, whatever, they're doing their thing. But
But I would say about the Chiefs, like, they're not playing that good. They're not like, they're winning. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
They're the most winning team. But look at Mahomes' stats.
But that's
He
what I'm
has
saying.
more picks than he has touchdowns.
It's kind of a mediocre season. So it's like, if there's any season to kind of get that goofball off the wall win where you don't think it's going to happen, or kind of like where it's just sort of the heart of the team that pushes it, like with the Eagles did with Foles, even though they lost their main guy, they still persevered. That could possibly happen this year. I still kind of am keeping faith in that for sure, because I just, like I said, I look around and you see so many bad records. We're still sitting at 5-2. Like, if we get on another roll, the sky's the limit. You know what I mean? Really. and I'm not going to even worry about like the Lions. I know they're going to be good. I know they probably, are going to be right up at the top of the division, and it's going to be a huge battle if you want to take the NFC North from them. But making the playoffs, that should be able to be completely attainable. And once you're in, once you get the ticket in, anything can happen.
I'm not worried about the division. I do think if I had to pick, I would say probably Lions are going to win the division because the Vikings, they do have a lot. They're working through some things, and I have no doubt in mind. This ain't 2016 where we had Sam Darnold at the last second saying we have Mike Zimmer, who obviously did a fear mentality type of culture. It's not like that. We got a great coaching staff, we got great players, a great defense. And I'm
He's
very
getting cooked right now. He's over in Dallas. They're getting torched over there. That defense is not. Sorry, Zim. I mean, sorry, not sorry.
I hope he doesn't have to get in there.
You screwed my favorite player, JJ, out of his rookie record. So sorry, not sorry. I know he did it on purpose. So it was like whatever, dude. At least I felt like he did it on purpose. I felt like JJ could have easily got that record. There was like a whole quarter left, and it was just like, no, we're not passing him the ball. We got to win this meaningless game. It's like, all right, dude.
I still won't forget that 2017 championship year. I still remember the press conference. Mike Zimmer, like, okay, if it's disastrous when Sam Darnold, he kept keeping him in there. I'm like, Brett, what are you doing? Where's Sam Darnold? I'm screwing at the TV. Where the hell is Sam Darnold? I mean, that's Sam Bradford.
Bradford, yeah.
Where's Sam Bradford, man? I'm ready to put him in there. Put Bridgewater in. I don't care, man. Just put someone else in there.
I can't wait. This week it's going to be. You remember when he grabbed Kirk and shook him or whatever, and they had that argument and stuff. This week it's Falcons versus Cowboys. So
Kirk I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Rivalry's happening.
Kirk is like, hey, man, you don't got no Kirko chains anymore.
Oh, I bet you Zimmer's planning for this one. Like, got staying up all night for that one.
He's losing sleep. Hopefully, he doesn't need any eye surgery. Because I remember when it got real stressful, he started to have a lot of health problems.
Dangerous. He was having like health problems, and I was actually worried for him because he'd be on the sideline with this thing like shaking, and it was like, dude, how long have you been up? Get some sleep. Holy smokes, you look stressed. Man, beyond stressed. No, it didn't. You could tell the whole thing was dysfunctional. I do feel kind of bad for Rick in the end. I feel like he was a really nice guy. I feel like he did do us pretty decent half the time, most of the time. And, I felt like he got tied in with that because I think he invested so much in Zimmer,
I liked, I wish Spielman didn't, I wish he was, one thing he could have been is a little bit more personal because it seemed like he was kind of like, he stayed out of the way. Like he made, like sometimes GM, that can be a great idea. But with Spielman, you kind of look at, he went too much all in and messed like even Quincy, a lot of people don't like how he's done the first couple of years, but keep in mind, Spielman I'm kind of on and off. Like he did a lot of good things, but in the last few years, his last couple of years in Minnesota wasn't that great, I will admit, and he left a lot of cap hit for the Vikings to deal with, and Quincy had to deal with that. That's why there was a lot of changes, and we kept Kirk Cousins, so we didn't have to take such a big cap hit from him.
Yeah, that's why we have all the problems we do, and those will all be gone here. Hopefully, I think after this year.
Quincy's been
we
great.
And I think he's been good too. You know what I mean? I think maybe his first year, I think he was a little too analytical. He was looking at it a little too analytical, and I was watching Hard Knocks from the Giants room the other day, and that's why I think the Vikings could totally get Dex for a pretty good deal because I don't know, them guys seem like they just want to fire sale, and like the way that they look at things is only through an analytical lens. I like to look through an analytical lens as well as like my football eyes, and so I feel like just different opinions and everything like that. But yeah, I feel like I don't even remember what my point was. I think it was just that the Vikings, could could make things work for a little bit less of a deal than what people were putting out there or whatever. But I
Yeah,
don't
two
think that
first round
deal's
picks
gonna
sounds like
happen.
fun, dude. I'm like, for a
Like,
defense tackle, don't get me wrong. He
right.
is a great player, but 2 first round picks, that's quarterback draft picks.
That's why I'm saying like 1 and then maybe
I would consider one.
like a 3rd round to 4th round. You know what I'm saying? In
I
the
would have
next year.
considered that. 2 first round picks seems a lot.
Like
It seems kind
too
of
much.
crazy.
That's too much for my blood, man. Like like I said, I love the dude, but like you said, we got to find a balance. And so hopefully that's what they're working on with them, just playing our ball or just letting them know, like, hey, we ain't got to pay that ridiculous price. We got good players. You know, we are considered one of the number 1s in the league. I'll play this video behind us so we can hear this pump up video too. We've been waiting for this the whole time. I don't know everybody that's been behind us. There's a pump up video for the Colts.
This is the stuff that decides seasons. Flacco put it right on the money. We got what the people need, what they feeding for and leaning for and begging me and pleading for. This it, I can go. I know you like the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings are a playoff team. They'll get Sam Darnold will dice you up. Right down to the socket, we lock and in the pocket. It's a renaissance, and we the leader. You the student, I'm a teacher. Teach you how to bounce, teach you how to roll. We don't do any runs without John Taylor. Put your back in it, put them hips in it. Get your feet with it.
Let's go. I'm ready. They're going down. Then Jonathan Taylor, Flacco back in. Oh, we just got to get in there.
It's going to be a good Flacco game. And I will say this about the Colts. They are a playoff team right now. They are not, I think divisional leaders, probably not, but wild card, definitely.
With Flacco,
you look at what he did with Cleveland. They came off the couch to start balling, and he has weapons, the Colts.
With
so I think he is on a good team.
But like you're saying, sorry to interrupt. With Richardson, I don't know. But with Flacco, I'm with you.
I kind of wish Richardson was still, at least for this game, I wish they would have started him next week. Because I really wanted to face Richardson. Oh, shit. I'm too tired, man. I need to sit out for a minute. Hold on. This Vikings defense is hard, man.
One thing that's odd is I read, and I don't know if any of this is true, and I hope too many people don't take me seriously. I do make satire content, everybody. I do work with some of the people and stuff. Not everything that you hear me say, especially on TikTok, is real. I can't believe so many people buy it. But this one is, I believe, but I'm not sure. But it said that they didn't say that Joe Flacco was going to be the starter all year. They just said next game.
Well, actually, the head coach just announced that. He said he's a head quarterback going forward. So,
he did. So we did correct it, and it is moving forward then.
Yeah, Richardson, I was making fun of him earlier, but that was too funny. I had to take the opportunity. But Richardson, he has the one thing. I watched him because I watched a little Gators football then and there. But yeah, what I saw from Richardson before he got drafted, very consistent. Yeah, even people question if he's even ready for the NFL at that time. And the Colts, as high as they took him, they should have not started him as soon as they did. Like, he should have been kind of like what the Packers did with Aaron Rodgers. Like, it should have been a 3-year type of deal, 2 to 3,
or at least
just a project quarterback.
1.5 to just.
I'm starting to think they don't know the definition of project quarterback. Project quarterback's like 2 to 3 years, not the first year.
Like, actually, like you're saying, like that, because like I could see a difference between like J.J. McCarthy and how he went back-to-back championships, runs a pro-style offense, all those things like that. And then still there's all the tools and all that, yada, yada, yada. But you look at someone like Richardson, and it's like the tools are off the charts. And I saw this a long time ago. No shade on Deshaun Watson, but I saw this a long time ago with Deshaun Watson in Houston. And I said there's going to be one problem with that dude. If he becomes uncoachable, he will be terrible. And I would not be surprised if he did not want to hear one word Stefanski said to him down there. And that's why he didn't play the way he should have played. Because like all the talent in the world can get you everywhere, but you got to be willing to accept the coaching. And that's why I love that the Vikings brought in another coaching staff or whatever and stuff like that. Besides just having Coach O'Connell there, to have what's his name?
Jim Harbaugh.
No, for the Vikings, the quarterback coach.
Oh, the quarterback coach.
Yeah,
I think it's Josh McCown.
McCown. For them to go out and reach out and get McCown and realize, like, no, you really got to dial in for these dudes and really specialize and take a lot of time. And everybody else has to synergize on the team too. You can't have no toxicity. You can't have nothing like that. It's got to be where it's a learning environment. The older quarterback or the veteran quarterback wants to teach the younger quarterback a good system to where it carries on. And then I think you see that super success and stuff. But yeah, with Richardson, like I seen so much talent, like just especially during that combine. That was crazy. Those balls he threw and everything. And if that ever does get honed, he will be mind-boggling.
I think he has all the tools. Anthony Richardson. I feel for him because this can be tough to be benched like that, especially how it happened. But that he has a reason to keep his head up. He has a future going forward. It's not like they say he's never going to be a starter. But if I was Anthony Richardson, I say learn under Joe Flacco. Learn as much as you can from him because dude's won a Super Bowl, MVP, and no matter what, he's had longevity to be in the NFL. So learn as much as you can from him, hone your game in, and maybe next year, if you get opportunity again, seize it. And that's this year. It should be like a training ground for him. To learn under Flacco, experienced quarterback,
a Super Bowl winning quarterback. You don't get that too often. You know what I mean? That's something good to learn under for sure. And like, let's say we're all wrong about McCarthy being ready. Like he's still just 21, locked down 4 years. There's no problem, for him. He's a top 10 pick, so they do get money in the top 10 picks. That's why I was glad we grabbed him within the top 10. It gets a little more income there, so they're more comfortable. They don't feel that rush to have to, get that contract, prove themselves, and that shows that faith. We spent a top 10 pick on you, dude. There's no way we're moving on. It's just get that part developed. And so let's say he's not ready right away. But let's say it's sort of like a thing where maybe another quarterback has to step in a little bit and then he marches out on that field, because I keep getting this envision in my mind that it's going to be sort of like how Tom Brady came in for Bledsoe. I just keep thinking it that way. It's going to just be one game where he trots in and he just never goes back out.
And that's what you hope to see. But honestly, I'm not sure if he fits in the system, but if we did go the direction of letting JJ sit just until he's fully ready to go, I know this might be a little controversial, but I think Joe Flacco could be a good option because he said he wants to play up until probably next year. And imagine that run, man.
As long as we get just 1 year or just somebody, like you're saying.
Like a 1 year, because Joe Flacco wants to play probably another year after this, and why not sign him? It depends if he fits the system, because Connell he picks people for specifically his system, but Joe Flacco did fit that system. No question, I would sign him at least for a year. Kind of the same contract we did like Sam Darnold, and I think Joe Flacco would be a great choice, and someone JJ can learn under as well.
So I think Sam's going to be quite expensive next year. You know what I mean?
He's getting
someone in the 10 million
range
and more the backup that they're probably going to think they're backup, and maybe they'll get a spot to start if something doesn't go right, but then hopefully switch back, because I do want the Vikings to eventually get with them. And it looks like we got 4 days, 1 hour and 27 minutes and exactly 16 seconds until the game. The Colts.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor looking good. Let's see what news we got. Looks like injury report for this week is going to be who's all out. Blake Cashman, David Quessenberry. All right, well, Blake Cashman did not practice. Quessenberry limited. Taki, defensive tackle, limited. Caleb Evans, full practice. TJ Hawkinson, full practice. He will be in. Theo Jackson, hand, full practice. Josh Oliver, wrist, full practice, and Dalton Reisner, guard, full practice. Is Dalton going to finally play? I wonder. Is he
I think so.
Is it time?
I think, especially after seeing that last play, I think that haunts a lot of Vikings fans at night still. That face mask, no call. I think, especially after seeing that, the Vikings are going to plug in Dalton Reisner. They usually play him at right guard, so they're probably going to bench Ed Ingram because he hasn't really made much of an impact.
Yeah.
So hopefully that helps a lot because Dalton Reiser did great last year. Like,
That's what I thought. And this is the thing. I just thought we were being disrespectful to the guy. Like, no disrespect for because everybody really loves Brandell. And what's so funny is I was talking about all these offensive linemen, and guess who I run into at the game? Like Brandell's parents. So it's just ironic. I'm glad it wasn't Ed Ingram's parents. My goodness, they would probably beat me up. But at least it was Blake Brandell's parents, and I had nothing good things to say. And we did the gritty together. I did fast one or whatever. I was like, that's what made me fall in love with him, man, and get to notice him and everything. And I do love Blake, but I'm just worried because Dalton hasn't played right guard. But I mean, he got to the second level multiple times next year, and it's got to be. I think it'll be better. Like I don't know. Ingram has been, so many years they've given him a chance, and so many years, and I don't have it right in front of me, but I know that it's been further back in the depth of like his PFF grades and his like performance versus his peers in that department on the right guard. I don't know if you
and that
agree with
affects the
that,
whole
but
thing. Like from what I can see, it's really the guards are the biggest issue right now. I can't speak on. I'm probably saying Blake. I'm just gonna go by his first name, Blake. He, from what I've seen a lot of struggles, but I've seen a lot of good things as well. So I think you'll probably keep him in. Ingram, I just don't see much development at all. There isn't much pros with him. No offense to Ingram, but I think Reiser has to be in. And I kind of felt like the Vikings disrespected Reiser a little bit. No offense to the organization, but Reisner should have definitely been re-signed after the season because he earned that.
Should have been immediate, no-brainer. You're part of the team. You're there, not
And he
waiting
wasn't
for the
looking for a
last
lot of money. He
second.
literally said that. He's like, I'm not looking for a lot of money. I just want what's fair and to be with the team long term.
And I'm glad. I think a lot of us fans came together after he came out and did that heart-to-heart and was just like, yo, like, I came here, I laid it all on the table. Like, I did everything you asked. We got better. Like, and I'm still here, and I'm not looking for money. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like, as soon as he came back in, and this was my direct quote, this was literally, I just told somebody this just because the line gels together better with him and stuff, especially when he was at that left guard versus anyone else last year, because Cleveland did have pretty good PFF grades. But I told people it's a working together thing. Sometimes you could hit the block, but if it's not the right assignment, you'll still get the PFF grade, but you might not get the yada yada. And you're leaving someone exposed. They might take on a double. And I was just theorizing and saying that might be why Christian Darrisaw is getting hurt. And then all of a sudden, we don't adapt the line. We don't change it up when I thought we did have a chance, and then he got hurt. And it was just like, gosh, I hope now we learn from that mistake. Get the line solid. Don't put too much pressure on one individual in the line. Have it so it's a synergetic gelling unit so that they can fluidly move in between each other. One guy ain't getting caught with someone else grabbing the wrong dude, and they all know their assignment. Because I think if that could happen, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, and Christian Darrisaw should have never had that much pressure. It's like you said, it's all working together. I think his statistic is it takes 3 years to offensive linemen to fully be in sync because it takes a lot of time for him to get familiar and to really get in that system. But Darrisaw had injury history before this, and he should have never had that much pressure on him. He should have had a little bit more help. And obviously, we see what happened. He got a major injury, and he's out for the year. So that should be a lesson to everybody that the line, like, they need to work more together. And people that are not holding up their end of the bargain, I hate because I know they worked their whole lives for this opportunity, but they have to not be on that field, because they're not doing their jobs. Now people are getting injured. Like,
it leads to injuries, and which could be to our biggest player, our quarterback. You know what I mean? Well, that's not our biggest player, but you know what I'm saying? I honestly think Darrisaw is our second biggest player and Jefferson being our first, you know what I mean? Or our two biggest all pros there. And to lose him is going to be big time. But yeah, I agree. Like, I totally agree. And I think someone commented something about Ingram and sometimes the guards getting them flags or having them free rushers come in. And, you've seen it a lot with Kirk too. They just come flying right in that section, right down the gut. And And so hopefully we can, I don't know if it's a center problem, a guard problem. I've personally thought it's a guard problem. Just I'm one of those guys that like a big, huge giant one and people on the blind side, and then kind of lighten the load over towards the other side for pushing up and kind of casual running, just that general lineup style and everything like that. I don't know what type of lines you like and everything.
Yeah, the only change of like on the offensive line is Dalton Risner at right guard. And obviously, I think this is how it's going to work. Quiz Bear is going to take over for a couple of weeks, and he's a solid left tackle. Last year, he only gave up one sack in 4 games starting. So I think he's going to be solid for a couple of games until our new Viking, Cam Robinson.
I
He
think
just got
Robinson will
traded.
play right away. I think he's going to play right away.
I think he will.
I think I heard something from Coach O'Connell like recently, and he just said like no, he knows the X's and O's, and we're just probably gonna plug him in. I mean, maybe he's not a full snap count, you know what I mean? You'll probably see both, but I think they are gonna play him some.
He's a solid left tackle. You look at his stats.
A vet?
Well,
Yeah.
I don't have his specific stats right now, but from what I've seen, he is rated as a pretty solid left tackle. A lot of people are like, "Oh, what the Vikings doing? They're trading for him, and not like this big dude, like for 2 first-round picks." I'm like, guys, let's hold the brakes. We got a solid left tackle, which is a needed move. We need a left tackle after Darisaw. I love this move, and we only gave up a 5th-round pick, and a conditional pick at that. So I'm like, let's go.
And we can get a compensatory back if we get rid of him later. You know what I mean? Or if he leaves the team, or unless something happens and then we got to have someone there to start the season or whatever for before Darisaw is ready. You know what I mean? As we see Hawkinson took longer. And then I suppose before we close everything out, I got some of the record in front of us, and I'm just wondering if you can give me your predictions for some of them here, as we move forward, and what you think we're gonna do. Maybe if you want to do that.
I would love that. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds all right. All right. And thanks again for having us on. And if there's anybody you want to shout out, anything like that, like I said, your channel or anything, or any organizations, any people, anything. And I just want to thank you. And I appreciate you coming on and talking a little football with me.
I'm grateful to be here. And there is I'm just one shout out to all the Vikings community on Twitter. It's just I'm really incredible to connect to a lot of people like Coda, even our youngest fan, JJ, and there is so many people I want to thank, and it's just incredible to see his community come together. Even with you guys, been through a lot, and I just love seeing the Vikings community come together. It was just incredible.
I'll never forget that for the rest of my life. You know, like I say, I run things a little different than Regina or Darwin Gate, as that's her gamer tag thing. But Regina, she's more, soft and nice, and she's got her nice channel, but I'm more, bulky and running around. So, sometimes I hope we make a decent pair to get people energized up, and we got some stuff coming out for the jersey that got sent to her, and then the film footage from the game, which we were so grateful for. And I know a couple of people did they wanted to send some money for some drinks, but we didn't want to, we don't want to overstay our welcome or anything like that. But we did want to say we appreciate that from everybody and everything. And all of a sudden, and also everybody's, like you said, retweets and the love and the things, because I've been in medical for 20 years. And I didn't understand cancer like I do now. And this kind of could be appropriate as we kind of close out, because we're going to do the win things and laugh at the end, but maybe get a little serious right here about Cancer Awareness Month. I didn't know the stuff about it. I really didn't. They just don't tell you. And even when you go on there, my wife, she's under 45, and you're only supposed to get those tests when you're 45 or older. Insurance doesn't even cover them. But you can still stress it, and you can still go into the doctor, and they have these blood tests and these other tests, and there's all these things. And for so many times, I can't stress it enough, where it was laughed off, because she's had this for 10 years now. Colon is a very slow growing cancer. And so many times it was laughed off, and oh, it couldn't be that or whatever. But anyone, if you have any sort of feeling, get a second opinion or anything, because it is worth it. It is absolutely worth it The last thing you want is what we had in our experience was this. It was, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. It's this other thing. Now it's this thing, it's that thing, it's this thing, to call in the middle of the night. No detachment, nothing. Just, stage 4, 5%. Bye. Like, for it to go from laughing at everybody to go to that's a very surreal moment for someone to ever go, thanks. Yeah, I'm trying to wear the pink for the end of the month, trying to do that stuff. I had a button too, but I didn't wear it. But yeah, so we really encourage people to like, it's great, those jokes and all that stuff. Laughing with your doctor is great. But if they're not taking it seriously, or if you don't think you're be taken seriously, yeah, as everyone's saying in the comments, get tested. You know what I mean? Or anything, whether it's, we got Gage here who does a lot in the community for a lot of health stuff. And, and I'm sure you can attest to this, whether it's mental, physical, emotional health, there's nothing to ever be ashamed of. There's nothing to hold your head down. In fact, trudge forward, get the help, and you'll be better off than you've ever known, in my opinion.
And you said it perfectly. My brother, it was like 2 years ago, around this time, because it was like Halloween night. We were dancing. We had a good night. And my brother the next day felt something off. He's like, man, I'm not feeling good. Then he went to doctors. He said he was fine. Then probably like the middle of the night, 10 or 11, he's just like, man, I'm still not feeling great, even though he said it was fine. And he went to the hospital, and they said he popped his lung. And if he didn't come in, and when he did, he probably would have died.
Follow your gut, man. Follow your gut.
And they said he was fine. Like, they would have been responsible for him dying, because they're like, hey, he's fine, he's good.
And that's the sad part, and some, I know there's someone else in here saying something about mammograms too, because I know, breast cancer stuff. I'm sorry, I'm not wearing my breast cancer pin, but those two, I think those are like a vision or a scan thing. But yeah, all that stuff. And yeah, even if it's just regular stuff or emergency room stuff, don't ever think you're not good enough to go in there. You're always good enough. You're always welcome. You're always worth it. It's something that I always tell people, you know what I mean? Like right off in the bat, meeting just Gage, hey, you're worth it. You're the best. I'm grateful. I always make sure to look people right in the eye and tell them that, because that is the truth. A lot of people think maybe I'm a Mr. Rogers corny person, but I'm just old and very experienced in trauma. And so,
and Mr. Rogers is a great figure, man. That man, I have a lot of respect for.
My mom, she calls me the Gipper. That's or whatever, something like that. I guess it's like what some old politician reference from someone that used to just like yap. So, all right. So what do we got? We got the Jags, right? Next, 5-2 Vikings.
Real quick, one last shout out, and it's just for these organizations, for people that want to get those children with autism, or you might be autistic. Organizations I highly recommend is Team Awesomeness and Autism Connect. They travel throughout the world, helping people with autism, and they've had a couple of international conferences, and they're bringing a lot of awareness and acceptance to the autism community. And I highly recommend you check them out. I've had some struggles with finding organizations that are truly there for us instead of the profit, and these organizations are not about the profit, they're about the people. So I highly recommend them, and I have much love for them.
And their name was
Autism Connect and Team Awesomeness.
Autism Connect and Team Awesome.
Yeah, Autism Connect
and Team Autism. All right, let's go for Autism Connect and Team Awesome, because you guys are doing an amazing job, and like, thank you, because like, it's hard to find people to do the amazing work that needs to be done these days, and it's a testament that you got people out here shouting you out and stuff. So that's really cool, showing that you're doing all of that really great work, and we all really appreciate you. I personally do, like I said, and I know you do, and I'm going to look into them more, and I encourage everybody out there to look into them more. Again, Team Autism, and then Autism, what was that?
It's Autism Connect, and then Team Awesomeness has like an I in it, where it gets a little tricky, but
that's the part that keeps throwing me off, is the Team Awesomeness. Okay, so it's with an I.
Yeah.
Okay, so Team Awesomeness, you guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Check them out, 110%. All right. always here to support autism or any mental health illness. But yeah, let's go. And I'm going to give it off one hand here for you before we go through your records for coming on here, dude, and being that brave and being awesome to shout everybody out.
I really appreciate it.
That
I'm
takes
grateful
one
to be
heck of a
here.
courage, man. I'm telling you, there's a lot of, I mean, a lot of people, they're too afraid to come up to the camera. So you're a brave person. Whether it's talking about something that's incredible or just talking about football, like just even do it. I'm just saying, like as a human and stuff. So I really appreciate you coming on.
And it's took many years. You know, I started this back in 2019. I just made a random video, and I was doing football videos for a time period, but now I got more into my passion and
That's
spent a
where
lot
it's
of years doing this, and it's took a lot of work. But I'm grateful to be here and have the experience I have.
I subbed. Yeah, you guys need to sub to the channel. You guys got to get over to this channel. It's over there. It's good. I subbed. Like I said, it's good. I watched a few videos today, and I'm learning more. I'm learning more and more.
I greatly appreciate the support.
Absolutely, and hopefully we can get you a lot more support. We got the Vikings and Jags, or no, the Vikings and Colts. Sorry. So first I am skipping ahead. We don't want to skip. We don't want to skip where we're at. So the Colts 4-4, Vikings 5-2. Who do you got?
I gotta say Vikings. Now Colts are gonna be a tough game. This ain't gonna be like if it would have been Anthony Richardson.
All right, so we got one dub. All right. Jaguars, Vikings. Vikings 5-2. Or well, the Vikings will be 6-2. Don't know what the Jags would be. Probably 2-7. But I'm not just kidding. Sorry, T-Law. No, they're 2-6 right now.
Gotta go with the Vikings. You know, Jaguars are just we've seen what they are right now.
All right, starting out strong. I like it. I like it. I love it. I love it. I'm here for it. Like for real, dude. I'm gonna be cheering so hard. You have no idea.
I'm gonna actually be at that game. I got tickets for it.
Really? Let's
Yep.
Let's go. Let's go. I'm gonna be looking for you, dude. I'm gonna be looking for you. I'm gonna be
Oh,
excited.
you're going to the game?
No, I'm just gonna be looking on the TV.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, hopefully I'm probably gonna be in the higher stands, but if they're able to catch me, then that'd be cool.
That's all right. Just keep waving your arms around a bunch. just keep doing that. They'll get you. They'll get you eventually.
Either that or just run on the stadium.
Yeah. Don't do that one. Don't do that one. They'll get you. I think that one guy I can't remember who tackled him, but
they seem like they're getting famous, man. So like, hey, why not?
I think it was Diggs. Remember that one time Diggs laid the wood to somebody that came on the field?
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think it was him, but maybe I could be wrong. All right, so we got 2 wins in the book, and now we're going on to the 1-6 Titans. Levis, I think Will Levis got benched, but we'll see what's going on there. Vikings would now be 7-2.
Yeah, I don't see them losing that game. I really don't. Like, they'll put up a fight, but I don't really see us losing that game.
All right, so we're going to 8-2. I'm going the wrong direction here. I'm gonna go like this. There we go. 8-2. All right, so we're going to 8-2. All right, now is where we're getting to the thick of it here because we're going to the Bears, and we know it gets a little cold November 24th, so we'll be at Soldier Field. So what do you think?
Soldier Field, I think it's going to come down to a touchdown. I think it's going to be a tight game just because we're rivals. But I think the defense pulls it out. I think they put a lot of pressure on Caleb Williams, and we come out with the W.
Get the rookie Caleb Williams, take out the W. So now we are 9-2 rolling. The fan base freaking out. We're back on the leaderboards. We're back up there, 3, 4, something like that. We're right up in the power rankings. You know they're never going to put us in 1 and 2. You know that.
Not anymore. We had that 1 week where we're number 1, but never again.
Right? It's like the one time since '98 that they did that. Like they'd never want to. Like they never trust us. But maybe we get on another roll. So then who's next? Then we got week 13, December 1st, Cardinals. They're 4-4 right now. They're doing pretty decent actually. Marvin Harrison Jr. scored a bunch on my bench. Thank you, Marvin. Against the Vikings, so it'd be 9-2.
I think we have a little bit of an off game, but we win by a field goal. I think Bull becomes the hero that day and gets a winning field goal.
10-2. Now they're really rolling. Now they're cooking. Because with that many wins, now that's almost even speaking a couple games in your playoff bound. I mean, you might even playoff bound here. 10-2. Okay. Falcons. Week 14, December 8th. It is at the Vikings. So Kirk Cousins coming back to U.S. Bank.
Kirk Cousins becomes Kirk Cousins again. He could be Kirk Cousins against that defense.
Back in
Vikings
December,
know Kirk Cousins very well. And it's going to be a tough game. Kirk Cousins will put up points, but that defense shuts him down. And Sam Darnold does. He maybe throws like maybe a pick, but overall he has a good game. And we finish out the game like by like 10 points, I think.
Nice. I like it. All right, so now like the Vikings got to be ranked one of the top teams because now they're 5-6, so that would be 11-2, going over to the Bears. Now it's the Bears at the Vikings. Now this is a nighttime game, 7 p.m. So going to be I don't know if it's Monday. Is it Monday, or I don't know if that's a Monday night game or a Sunday night game. But either way, it's a nighttime game.
I'm gonna say I hate to say this. I think we lose that game just because of the nighttime game, all the pressure, and I think Caleb Williams learned from his mistakes. But it's a tight game. It's a close game. I feel like we might get overtime in that game, and Chicago wins by a field goal.
So Chicago taking that one. So now the Vikings will be 3 losses. So 11-3, week 16, December 22nd, Seahawks at the Seahawks, 3:05, Lumen Field.
We come back, get a victory because we shut down Geno Smith in that offense.
Okay. They're so hard to shut. I'm always, for some reason, the Seahawks, I don't know, they just seem to always get us. I hope we can get them back. I really do. I'm cheering for you on that one. I'm with you on that one. All right, so that'll put us at 12-3, going into Green Bay, week 17, December 29th, Packers, Vikings, at Vikings. This is come back from the first game against the Packers. You know it's going to be big. You know it's going to be coming down to it. Only one more game left in the year, and that's the Lions. And so here we are, set to battle, Packers.
I think we lose that game. Packers are just one of the tricky teams, always back and forth. I think we'll lose probably like by a touchdown. It's going to be like the last 2 minutes, and Jordan Love, even though how much we're going to hate it, comes back and gets a touchdown.
I do hate it that he's so good. I was just hoping for once they would just get someone mediocre. I was like, for once.
Yeah, can you just grab, I don't know, like Art Mishu or somebody?
Just one time. They just can't miss. All right, so we're sitting at 12-4, I believe, right there. I think was what I had. 12-4. Last one, week 18. Don't know the time or whatever. Everything to be determined. Going against the Lions one last time. And this one is at the Lions territory. So we're going back to the Lions territory for this one.
A gritty, and I gotta emphasize it again, a gritty game. It's gonna be tough like before. And now the Vikings kind of got the taste of what the Lions, and we know what we're working with. I think it comes down, I think it goes overtime, and the Vikings win by a touchdown. Justin Jefferson makes almost like a miracle play and gets the win.
That would be pretty sweet. So that would make us 13, either 13 or 14. Might have been 14. I think I might have lost count there. I'll have to look back. But I think it was either 13. So what if, does this change for you? If that game versus the Lions, that last one there, if it's like, because it's to be determined, if like it gets slotted night game or it's a big deal, like let's say it's like, for the division or something like that, or for maybe it's not for the division, maybe the Lions clinch the division, but it's for the Vikings to get playoff hopes. Because let's say the Lions clinch the division, one other NFC North team clinch the division, and this is for the Vikings to clinch the division. Do you think that they can? Do you think that they can overcome more there, or like
I think the Lions are going to be over
the NFC North versus that?
I think the Vikings still get the W. I think the Lions, they're going to be on a roll for a while. I think they're going to get a lot of wins. But I think they get overconfident, over aggressive. That's Dan Campbell's specialty is to get over aggressive. And the Vikings take a lot of advantage of that from the defense because Brian Flores is going to take advantage of Dan Campbell's aggressiveness. and Sam Darnold punches the game. Like, he doesn't make too many mistakes, and we're just on a momentum with our receivers, and we got our offense rolling again, and we take the W.
I like it. Because also, like I was thinking, if they do start rolling super hard and they do, clench or something early, then hopefully we won't have to play their starters. Hopefully it's just like a backup and just easy in, But
if they do play
know.
backup, man, won't go to overtime. We'll just that'll definitely be a win.
So I think there was one more thing I was going to say, and I forgot what I was going to say. Who do you think is going to be the breakout player for the Colts Vikings game for each team?
Each team, Colts, easily Joe Flacco. I think he's going to have a good game regardless.
I'm going Taylor. I'm going Taylor on that
one. For the Vikings, I think TJ Hawkinson. I think TJ Hawkinson is going to come out hot.
Hawkinson's welcome back party. See that I'm hoping that that's the one thing that gets fixed with Sam Darnold, because this is what I've noticed. Sam Darnold, amazing arm, amazing splash plays, a lot of splash plays. But what I don't notice a lot of is like this, like Tom Brady does it a lot. Kyle Shanahan does it a lot with Brock Purdy, using the pass as an extension of the run and just dipping and dunking and doing like all 3 downs and then converting, and then all 3 downs and then converting until you basically exhaust the opposing team's defense. Or, in layman's terms, just controlling the time of possession. And I think TJ Hawkinson is going to help with that, because he's going to give an out route for Sam. You know what I mean? Whereas I don't think he's had that. You've seen a lot of passes like to Munt, you know what I mean, that have kind of been dropped. And I think all those will be caught.
I think that's perfect comparison, because he kind of plays like Brock Purdy, Sam Darnold. He's not a guy that is going to. He's not a game changer, but he can extend the plays by his legs and by his arm.
Right.
And having those especially having a tight end like TJ Hawkinson is going to be a great help. And especially when Justin Jefferson and Addison are covered up. TJ Hawkinson has that speed and strength to be able to push the downs.
And they're saying he looks great, so I'm gonna love it. I'm going with you, man. I'll wear my Hawkinson jersey that day for sure.
I'm still this year. I'm saving up. I'm gonna be buying a TJ Hawkinson jersey. That's my man.
You're saving up, getting a Hawkinson jersey. Let's freaking go! I know everybody thinks I have all these jerseys because they kind of got some now, but I didn't get my first jersey till just not last year, but the year before. Someone gave some to me. And then I ended up being able to buy my first one last year. And then this year I bought some for presents for everybody. And then, we found out medical stuff. So I haven't been spending any more money on jerseys, obviously. But no, it's just one of those things that people don't understand. They're very, very expensive. And, you love to own them. You love to always update them. But I always look for the long-term guy. I'm always like,
it's like $120. It's like $120 to between $130. I'm like, man, I'll make sure I get a guy long term.
And make sure to get those, in my opinion. And Fanatics, don't you come after me. I'm supposed to be with them. I have a thing where people can use the code and yada yada whatever. I have a link, but I don't think I was supposed to. Maybe I'm not supposed to persuade people, but in my opinion, I think it's not worth it to buy the $170 variant if you're not going to stitch it. I'm not going to tell people to go buy that. I'm going to tell people stick with the 120, stick with the 119, and then you know what? Go a step even further. Wait till you can get it on sale. Keep your eye out.
Black Friday is a great time to buy a jersey.
That's what I'm saying. Because then you get 30% off. Because they don't always have all jerseys 30%. But you wait for the one you want, then it goes 30% off, and then you got it, and you're getting yourself a jersey for $90, and you know what I mean. And that's with tax, with everything
compared to what it was going to be.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. And you build up fan cash. You know what I mean? So it's like there are ways that I've told people, because a lot of people feel really mad at Fanatics. And I try to tell them, like, it's a business. Everything's expensive these days. I mean, I'm surprised they're still embroidering. I'd love them to. But it's not a code. It's a link. I can provide it. I'll put it on my Facebook for you guys if anyone ever wants to use it. You're more than welcome. But it's just basically like a link that brings you right to their page. And then apparently, if you purchase anything, like I get credit for it, or if you refer at the end, MrKnew. But I think it's just using the link or whatever and the referral. But I'm not sure. I don't really look into it because I'm not always trying to sell people stuff. I'm more into people all having fun. But the times I will get into it is if I can get you a deal or you know what I mean, or help somebody out with information. You know what I mean? Like I said, because I don't want to see you going and spending $170 thinking you're getting some embroidered thing and then you don't get it, because that bum me out.
Yeah, that would
Stadium
not be a
store,
good time.
NFLshop.com or whatever is who I work with. But yeah, it's the same as Fanatics. It's all the same. And I'll make sure. Thank you, Mod, for pasting that. That way everybody can. That way I don't have to keep talking about it. As you can see, it makes me uncomfortable to talk. I don't like. I'm not. I always feel greedy or something. You know, dude. Like I don't.
Yeah, it's kind of how like it feels sometimes, especially when you're trying to promote something.
Yeah.
And it can feel that way for sure. So
Right. And I never want to come across like that to anyone. I just want people to know, like, I'm legit. I'm always going to try to tell you the truth and always going to try to beat there. And I think Gage is too. And and there it is down there for you guys. I don't know if that's a link, but you can always copy it. We'll also have it on the Facebook. We're going to redo this. We're going to put it on the YouTube. Thank you so much again, Gage. I think I've used up so much of your night. I really appreciate it. And I hope you had a halfway decent time. And like I said, I should have everything open for you. You can use this for any videos you want to. You have my full permission for anything and anything you want.
I'm grateful for that, brother, and it was a pleasure. And I'm really grateful to be on there and for the invite.
Absolutely. And let's freaking go. SKOL. Vikings taking the Colts.
SKOL, baby. Let's go.
SKOL, baby.
Sunday night. Let's get it.
Let's freaking get it, man. We're going to get it. Here we go. We're going to get the new line set up. We're going to have everything set up. Sam Darnold's going to want revenge. He's going to be sick of it. He's going to be like, I'm going to throw so many touchdowns. Jefferson is so mad from dropping the ball. He ain't letting one drop this time. We're going to watch him, like you said, grab these snatches from Miracles. Addison, free number 3. He's coming back. He's going to be so open because Hawkinson's going to be open. And then you're going to get gashed and slashed from the run game and Aaron Jones. It's going to be a beautiful thing to witness. And I have a feeling Dallas Turner is going to finally show up and turn up this next game. I just hope so, at least. I've been really rooting for him. So, you know, and everything like that. So, frick yeah. SKOL, baby.
SKOL.
SKOL.
Here we go.